Yalama noi noi. Nyara jenge gonyu Daniel. Nijolo ipopo kini tarele. Ipeda dol nune. So I'm glad you're interested in that topic, and then let's begin. We are Emuria, and we want to try to help Atakerekeda Aisha 9 Arabai Jana Kini Atakere Walo Aisha Nakini Boroni Kamana Kede computers and what have you. So today Gialo Lokeda programming. We will understand Yobo programming uponeba ni igpirarajeda inche to do these things of programming. What other languages are involved in programming, and hopefully give you a guide on where you can begin from. So what is programming? You need to be aware of this because it is a fundamental place that you have to begin the whole journey of programming itself. But before we get to that point, I'll walk you through the definition, and I will also give you a basic know of about Ngaibe programmer, languages that are being used, and Neperaja Geun. So programming basically is a very simple subject. If you're interested in computers, if you are not, then it's going to really give you a hard time. But it is simply giving computers instructions, and these instructions are written down in form of a document, and then the computer will execute them step by step. So what is it? It's a step-by-step process of designing, developing various sets of computer programs to accomplish a specific computing problem or outcome. Now, basically, you're developing a solution. Areja ya tema siachons na ikotoja itemokin or sitebala, it is step by step, meaning the computer, a better computer, to execute these instructions one at a time, small tasks to finalize the set of problems that you have. You will need to write Iboromunukwap. It will take you through phases of how you're going to tackle that problem. To say you begin with so basically let's just dig right deep in and then see what it is. So we have certain things in programming. One is the programming language. We've defined programming itself, and now we have several programming languages that are out there. So what are they? A set of commands, instructions, and other syntax used to create software programs. So basically there are several ways of how we can solve problems. There are some programming languages that are meant and know certain types of solutions or certain types of problems, and then a jasi bobo icheda that are intended purely and no achoksache. So basically that person ngonlo liwadikai these codes used to write code are called high-level languages. High-level languages, what you need to know about high-level languages is bonebe eriboro ni wadika utai kedamusugun. But basically behind the hood, mama computer ne pedorte amesikin what you're typing. If you, let's say, type Arabi or mama computer peragen on that. So but then we have to find ways of converting it, that is compiling it down into low-level language. Low-level language eraibor ne pedorita computer mesikin. This is purely binaries. And in fact, when you code directly with low-level language, akeswelo, you're really writing code that the machines, the hardware part of it, really understands. High-level languages are designed to be easy to read and understand. This allows programmers to write source code in a natural fashion, using local or logical words and symbols. For example, there are certain reserved words like function, while, if, else, do, loop. Those are usually akironwele martai from the vocabulary of day to day when you begin programming. You cannot use them anyhow, anywhere. You'd have to find another phrase of term to be able to use the word function, because in some programming languages the word function means a set of another instructions, or it tells or it instructs the computer on how to behave. Then there are also symbols like an equal sign, exclamation sign, less than or greater than. Those ones are also special symbols that are used in high-level languages. They are called operators. So basically, ijong only jai already in the game lo mesikita kirona programming, but ijenijo one specific language. It therefore means bonbe ipe crossing ajo to a new language, like maybe from Python and you're going to Ruby, programming language. It's still idumujo bebenenikini jo nara. You already know this fundamental knowledge about programming languages, that they have special words and then they have symbols and all of that. Why should you bother? At least a few reasons here and there, and the first one of it being that it's the easiest way to understand computers. So the computer is only a tool. If you learn how to write simple programs, you will gain more knowledge about how computers work. As simple as that. And the second one is to solve problems. Increase your confidence level to find, personal satisfaction in creating a set of instructions that fix issues. And with that, so now, what do you really do? Ijong only jagia this programming bit of it. What will you do? So you're going to basically have a main role, lerai amiskin how what the problem is. Inyo wirations neja iniko to jaite mokin. Then adumune poneno iperaje temokin ation singin tuptejo solutions. Araibo, you divide the problems into smaller bits and then fix the problems, and then in the end of it all unify the whole big small problems into one big giant problem, and then that is it. After that, simply document it. So a training only baka programmer, a training in a baka programmer, usually itemonokini a set of instructions you get over a computer. Now then it executes these instructions. After it has been executed, we will look for errors if at all they were there, and then find ways of fixing it, recorrecting whatever errors we found. And after that, you basically you write a full documentation about how that program works, so that distungana nene koteto some of that software will be able to find that specific software to fix at your option that software can fix. Usually that is it. So it's a process kana ni daono na limu bonebe ejaun bereje ettemono ine poneni bero jagya una temokina tion sinejai akeswelo you better bereja misikina tion sinejai, then idaja misikina tion sinejai, then you plan it out. So the first step AC jamisikini actionis, that is defining the problem. And then adumune poneni planning aunajo eponeni temo kination singing, that is planning the solution. And then obviously you jump into getting your feet wet by writing the program. Writing the program in this case rai etosoma programming languages. It's going to be a matter of your choice. There are several of them and we'll look at them as we move. But idaujo to a word count a code law, then it means you have to test it to verify that it is error free. Idaudoje testing a program on or step long on it or step la washa isijo a wadika a documentation about how the program works, what it can do, how it can do it, and possibly what next is left out, like that. Okay, so let's what is this code? And what you're seeing in this picture, that little snippet of code, is basically how it is, what people write every day to solve computer problems, or our day-to-day solutions to the problems that we really get. Like, for example, buying things online, you will be trying to behind the scenes execute those sets of instructions. So kapakinaja ekoroja miskin bonebe programming is for oni kere mamerai yangobon mamerai musugun bon erai oni kere, as long as iwomton bipero na domono ationisi also dipero ne word count ationsi no joko agete egwaikini o computer as a set of instructions bon be eraja gyar kerena tupakini na ngeta kijongun golokini jo. So that is what it is. So an borobere abila sinene bakaino the programming languages. So basically erai abila na computer that jo kedayongo can use to develop, like these softwares, programs, scripts, and other sets of instructions for a computer to execute. Eriboroli wadka ikino na computer bonbe igiajane, and next step le tupakine silo idauje step ngon tupakinjolo cheje idaujolo chengono tupakinjolo cheje tonjange takini kere. So tetemosberon bone be ikoro jo abolia a music. So you begin by chikakin start menu, you go and look for VLC, VLC, then you look for your music and then you can play it. Or you can also take another route, just look for your music, the one you like, then you just double click. When you double click, you're instructing it to do something. Then by the time sound begins, a series of steps would have already been executed. You get, like for example, identifying what type of song. Is it a video or a audio? If it is a audio, which program is installed so that I can use to play that? Because you can get a VLC with another player, Windows Media Player, with another one, port player, and so you have to also give it again the instructions that if I try to play audio files, then eraja tosoma VLC nesamina ngono. So a programming languages neraino etchakakirwa nare noinoi. Excuse me, it's not compiled. I've just seen this error, but it is low level language. Okay, while it is compiled, yes, the real name is low level language. We have high level language and then low level language. Under high level language, akiswalobon be erai no nitosomai tai akiro kwapa no pokapane nerangono was, is, food, that English like version. But when you go down and look at the low level language, that one tosomayo inna by isulai. You get if I wanted to write my name, then I would have to a genuine ponele word kaune kakiro to so my tetenyo isu like arabina baingun. And high level languages examples that we have are C++, COBOL, Fortran, Perl, PHP, Python, Ruby, Ipoa, Depara. Under compiled language, a poor question, but the common one, the first one, the known one is assembly language. So, in 2020, which one should you begin with if you had wanted? If we have high level and then low level language. A graph lo itejo ngaren konlo erai how this programming language stack up today in 2021 as of May. And remember, these are in all time seasoned programming languages. We have C language, we have Java, we have Python. These are the top 3, and then there's C++ following the top 3. So C is a general purpose procedure computer programming language. Java is a high level class-based object-oriented programming language, OPP. And then Python is also OPP. Python is uninterrupted high-level general purpose programming language. A poor programming languages, like I've said, you have JavaScript, PHP, Ruby, Lua, TypeScript, Go. So much that is. What type of problem do you want to solve, and then look for the best language that works in that area of the problem you like. Why you should join more is here. In the next things have not been favorable for the lady side. They've only got 8% of developers out there. So some of these things should not frighten you. Do you have the time on earth to do it? Anubo berenyo nye kinere 91.5 kere around ni kiloko. Yeah, naturally, ebaka ibonebe angorerai ne minasi itunga. So they are drifted to things like nursing types of courses and borokwangun kere. Then kilio kerai creatures that are so curious, and they like to fix a lot of issues. So they go for things that test their minds and what have you. And I want to encourage the ladies that it's just something that you can also get into. Yes, it has not been proportionate for Africa. We only have 1% of the programmers out there. I mean, top-notch programmers, we only have 1%. As compared to America, that is having about 64%. Who are we? Me, yes, this is Daniel, and then we have Chris, who is a specialist in SEO and is a developer focused on Android. I would say spend some time, visit us at emuria.com. There's more you can learn. You can reach us out on those contact section, that is our email address and then the telephone number, and visit our site. So thank you very much once again. I was your host Egonyu Daniel. Iminaja Kirokwano. Please subscribe to our channel, comment, like, and on Facebook Emuria Technologies Yalamanoinoi.